Hi, this is more of Biotechnology Exposed. Now, this will be the start of avian transgenic, where it got its beginning. That they first started thinking about using chicken eggs to, impart exogenous protein into them to make biologic drugs. Now, it probably goes back as far as the mid-80s at least, because it had to be worked on a while, and the first patent that I could find that was applied for was in 1988, and that patent was granted in 1992 as a way to open a chicken egg to impart the exogenous protein into it, which would be the future medicines of biotechnology. So we'll take a look at a couple of things there. You can scan down here and see this is a method of transfer into chickens and other avian species. Gene transfer into chickens. And I'll zoom in so you can read it. Method of gene transfer into chickens and other avian species. And you can see the patent number 5162215. This is the first transgenic chicken patent that I could find. It has no references to other patents, so I'm assuming this is the first. Transgenic chickens, as you see. And if you go down to the bottom, you can see the filing date was 9/22/88, and the publication date was 11/10/1992. Now, let me show you what happened between those two dates that made them want to change their mind about hurrying this project along to make therapeutic proteins in the eggs of chickens vastly cheaper. Oh, and by the way, that patent, as you can see, the assigner happened to be the Amgen Corporation. That was in Oaks, California, and some farm they were obviously working on the chickens with. But Amgen was the holder of that first patent for transgenic chickens. And I'll show you a little about Amgen's history. Okay, now this is from Amgen's history, which you can easily look up online. And if you look at what I highlighted, the race to market EPO, which is Epogen, 1989. Amgen didn't have a product that was on the market until 1989. And if you notice, that patent I just showed you was filed for in 1988. So at the time they filed for that patent, they had zero revenues. And if you scroll down a little, Amgen determined that EPO's annual tab for dialysis patients would run $6,000. Medicare would pick up the bill for dialysis patients, most of whom were hit by a huge cost of dialysis itself. So the first drug they ever marketed was fully paid for by the government. And on June 1st, 1989, the FDA approved Amgen's EPO for the treatment of anemia and kidney dialysis patients. The next day, Amgen shipped its first batch of the drug to UCLA Medical Center. By the end of June, it had sold nearly 17 million worth of the drug, its first product after 9 years in the business. And you can see there, the end of that is Kieran Brewery got a part of the profit. And here is more from the Amgen history. Meanwhile, Amgen product sales went from 2.8 million in 1989 to roughly 140 million in 1990. That was all sales of Epogen, and that 140 was fully paid for by the federal government. And if we look down to the next highlighted area, they were also making Neupogen by 1991. Total sales for the drug in 1991 exceeded 260 million. And the company became known as a biotechnology leader. Amgen closed 1992 as the first biotech company to top $1 billion in sales. Okay. So as you can probably see, Amgen had a little bit of a dilemma on their hand. Eventually they knew the transgenic protein in the chicken eggs would have to be used, the way biotech was exploding upwards, revenue and sales-wise. But as you can see, they had no revenues in '88 when the patent was filed, and $1 billion in revenue in 1991 or 1992 when the patent was granted. So, and most of that money came from the federal government, was paying the freight on all of that. So you have a situation where, do they want to make something vastly cheaper when the government is already agreeing to pay billions of dollars for these drugs? I don't think so. So this project had to be sort of hidden or put on hold or progressed at a snail's pace until the sector was bursting at the seams as far as, being bloated as far as the cost of these drugs go to where nobody could afford them. So next time I'll tell you and show you who Amgen handed off this project to, with probably the caveat that you can progress it, but undercover and very slowly. And next time I'll tell you where that is. Bye.